Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today I just want to talk about what I'm interested in for Special Release Booster 2.0. We are getting BT18 in it and half of BT19, if you didn't know. So all the cards on this list are in the Special Release Booster 2.0, and they are kind of in no particular order. I guess the things on the bottom are cards I don't exactly know how the decks work, and then the top ones are ones I'm more interested in actually, building and owning and stuff like that. They're the first things I thought of when I wanted to make this video, which is probably indicative of how interested I am in them. So, starting with Shadow Seraphimon Ace, I really dig this card. I think this is just going to be another great generic black Blast Ace. So it has blocker on play when Digivolving, D-Digivolve 3 on one of your opponent's Digimon. So that is automatically just a great really strong combination of effects. D-Digivolve 3 means if you're a Mega, you're going back down to a Rookie and you're going to get blocked. You're going to die on the swing. If you're a level 7, you're going to turn into a Champion, and you're probably still going to die as a level 4 swinging into a level 6. And then all turns when attack target is changed, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k for the turn. Also a really powerful effect. This card is basically Blast Ace, remove 2 bodies from the opponent's board. You're more than likely hitting a small target with a minus 5k, and then the D-Digi is for whatever you're blocking. Or I guess you could do it the other way too. You could give minus 5k to something and block a bigger body if you want to. But I just see the utility being that this catches anyone swinging with a 6 that's not ready for it into losing their stack. So I'm probably going to wind up with a bunch of copies of this card and trying to figure out what exactly I can do with it in black. I'm wondering if it's usable in security control. I know there's a lot of bounce effects nowadays, so it's probably not that great in SecCon because you're just going to drop it down and then wind up paying the overflow cost a bunch. So probably not that great, although you can just Blast Ace on it on top of the Magna Ange if you're going to play it to recover a card. So that's also good. So yeah, just an interesting card to me. Duskmon from BT18. On play and when digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, change one of their Digimon or Tamers into a color other than white. When attacking, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a level 4 card with the hybrid trait from its trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. And then the Inheritable says on deletion, you can play a Tamer with cost 4 or less from your trash without paying the cost. Evo's on a 3 for 3 or a Tamer for 3. There's a lot that I really like about this card. The first one is changing an opponent's Digimon or Tamer color into something else. Kind of devious. They can't Evo unless they have tribal evolutions. But you're just not going to be able to Evo, a generic red onto a generic red if you turn it green. So that's already a really powerful effect, and it makes it kind of a level 4 that I'd like to splash into a lot of the purple decks that I play. It kind of fits as a control piece. And then the one attacking, letting you Evo a Tamer into a hybrid in the trash with the cost reduced by 1 just means that if I swing this and I play a deck in purple, which is every purple deck I play, that puts things in the trash, I can throw away, a Duskmon to trash. And if I ever swing with a Duskmon, because almost all my decks play at level 4 like candy, I'm going to be able to Evo a purple Tamer into that second hybrid, and I can eke out a game that way without having to worry about holding the hybrid in hand, which is kind of really strong as well. And then the Inheritable letting you play a free Tamer is also really great because now I can play my Alices without having to worry about playing the Alice. I just go into the Duskmon stack and that's that. So this is probably going to wind up being a level 4 that you see me experimenting with in lots of my decks. And I will probably own way too many copies of the alt art for this card because this is my favorite Digimon in the Tamers, or not Tamers, the Frontiers franchise. So big Duskmon fan. I'm glad that he's got such an interesting effect that fits in with a lot of the decks that I want to play. Velgramon. On play when digivolving for each color among your opponent's Digimon and Tamers, trap the top card of both players' decks. Then this Digimon gets 1k for each card trashed by this effect for the turn. End of attack by deleting 1 purple, level 4 or lower Digimon. Delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, and then it has a Retaliate Inheritable. This is 4 on a 3 or 4 on the Tamer. The thing about this card is it belongs in a Merva loop deck, and if you know me, I love me some Merva. So more than likely, I will either wind up building just a straight purple hybrid deck, or I'm going to build the Merva loop deck. I'm going to have to look at it, because if it's something that looks like it's going to get hit or restricted, I don't want to put the money into building it. I'm almost a little worried. So I don't know anything about the Merva loop deck. I don't know how good it is. But I would be worried that if we have another funny Merva loop, and this is a thing that keeps happening where we have ways to loop Merva, that we might wind up with a restricted or banned Merva, which I don't want. But if the deck looks reasonable and not totally unfun for my friends to play against, that's probably also another deck that I would consider building. If I had to choose between Merva Loop and Purple Hybrid, it's probably just going to come down to which one is less annoying to play against. I already have tons of Merva decks. Almost every deck I play has Merva in it, so I don't really see the purpose in building another dedicated Merva Loop deck. But Purple Hybrid sounds interesting, and I don't play any hybrid decks currently, so it might be a nice change of pace for me. Lord Knightmon goes hand in hand with Lord Knight X. I'll read both and then talk about the deck. So, On play when digivolving, you may play a level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. Note that it does not specify color because this is black-purple. And then opponent's turn, once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attack, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with the Royal Knight trait. The X-antibody version of the card is 4 to Evo or 1 on Lord Knight, has collision piercing. And then when digivolving, you digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon can't digivolve until the end of their turn. Really, really, really strong effect. And then all turns, if Lord Knightmon or X-antibody is in your sources, all of your Digimon with Knightmon in their text gain alliance and get 3k DP. So the way I'm playing this deck is the way the degenerate purple player plays this deck with the Dark Animal engine. Going into the Lord Knightmon, you play out the level 4 for free, and then you do shenanigans. And this is already becoming my next pet deck in testing. I love the way it plays. It does basically what I used to like about Minerva, but does it debatably more efficiently because if you run the Cerberus X line or any level 5 that plays you a body, which you should be if you're playing this deck properly, you're going to net a level 3 off of your level 5, and then you're going to Evo into this and you're going to net a level 4, and now you've gone the 2 bodies wide that Minervamon wants to do with the Merva combo, without actually having to sack a body, and you're just sitting 3 wide. Obviously, some dangers to that. Death X just absolutely ruins you, and you don't have any inbuilt protection with this deck. Obviously, Protoform can recur you pieces, but it gets a little tricky there. A solution a lot of people have been finding is playing that Sister Mont Blanc that gives you decoy. A slight hiccup with that is that a lot of decks now that are really good bounce things to hand, bottom deck, or security, so Lord Knightmon is actually still really susceptible to that, which does suck. But once BT19 drops in its entirety and we get the Crossheart stuff, I've got some fun stuff I'm going to do with this deck involving that new Sparrowmon and Jet Merva to allow myself some protections against the bounce effects. This deck also really, really naturally synergizes with Alice, which I love because you can go into your level 5, get the level 3, get all your memory shenanigans. If you have Alice on board, you sack that level 3 to get into Lord Knightmon for 0. You play out the level 4, and then you either go into your Lord Knightmon X, or you swing, you do your 2 checks with Lord Knightmon, and then Jessamon GX fits in this deck too. It's just super, super cool. I'm already buying cards for this deck, before it comes out and everything gets expensive. So this is definitely one I'm going to own in real life, along with the Velgramon Loop, and probably some kind of purple hybrid. Cards I know less about. Dynasmon X-antibody. This is super cool. Raid Blocker is a really, really awesome combination of keywords that I'm interested to see if it actually does anything. When digivolving and when attacking, if Dynasmon or X-antibody is in its sources by trashing your top security, trash your top opponent security card, and this Digimon gets 6k DP. And then end of your turn, if you have 2 or fewer security cards, you recover 1. I have no idea what this deck does. I assume it does stuff with trashing security, but my first thought is that I want to play this with Protoform and Shu Yulin. And I want to Protoform into this, and then trash my security and my opponent's security, and then tuck Yulin under this, raid into their bodies with the DP boost, and then have reboot from the Yulin. Sounds cool to me. Don't know how good it'll be, but that's where my head is. The Lucifer deck, BT19. When this Digimon would leave the battle area, if a card with Lucifer and its name is in this Digimon's sources by trashing both players' top security, it doesn't leave, so inbuilt protection. And then end of your turn, your opponent may trash their top security. If they didn't, you recover 1 and delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. This is a nasty card. What I'm really interested in is this card's artwork is insane, which makes me want to build Lucifer. But this is going to be a stupid expensive deck, I can already tell. It has lots of super rares. It's got a secret rare in it. The deck seems weird and interesting to play, like it's a non-linear playstyle, if that makes sense, which I'm interested in. I just don't know if I'll ever build it because it seems like it's going to be ungodly levels of expensive. So that's where I'm at with that deck. The actual Dark Knightmon support that's supposed to go with Lord Knightmon X has material save, and then on play when digivolving, Digi 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. If you're Digi-crossing with 2 cards, you delete a Digimon or Tamer with play cost 3 or less, so some Tamer hate and some D-Digivolve. And then on deletion, you play a level 4 or lower with Knightmon and its text from under any of your Tamers without paying the cost. Inheritable plays you a Knightmon from trash that's level 4 or lower. I've always been interested in playing Knightmon as a deck, as a tribe, and I might wind up experimenting with playing this with Lord Knightmon, but I kind of want to see what the archetype could do, maybe with just the Blast Ace Lord Knightmon. But I do want to play Dark Knightmon at some point and have an actual, Dark Knightmon deck rather than Lord Knightmon with Dark Knightmon in it, if that makes sense. Zed Millenniummon, it's got Overclock. You can pop a token or a composite trait Digimon to attack without suspending. On play, when Digi, and when attacking, you return a Digimon from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck and return one of their Digimon to bottom deck. All turns, this Digimon with no sources can't be suspended and isn't affected by your opponent's effects. I have seen this card in Diaboromon. I don't know how the actual deck plays. I just know that Zed Millenniummon is really cool. Bottom decking things is also cool. And Overclock is a cool new effect. So I'm interested in seeing where this card goes. It's obviously a level 7 purple Digimon, which interests me because, what can I do with a purple Digimon? It does the composite overclock thing. As long as you have a token, you can make that happen. So maybe there's some world where I can use this with Lady Devimon X and there's her Druken token to do something. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it. It's just an interesting card to me, interesting archetype, and we'll see where it goes. Lastly, I've got Tiger Vespaon here, Piercing Reboot. It's a whole new archetype. On play, when digivolving, for each of your face-up security cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then none of their Digimon can unsuspend till the end of their turn, and all turns when another Digimon is deleted in battle, this Digimon may unsuspend. As a rule, this has insectoid traits. This is also a natural X-antibody Digimon, so you can protoform into this. But I just like that this archetype is doing the security face-up thing. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. It's kind of cool that this is the first deck that's doing that. I'm kind of surprised nothing has done that till now. But this is another deck that seems up my alley. You want to swing into things, and it just seems cool. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Tiger Vespaon is cool as a whole, so I'm excited to see how the deck plays. So that is what I'm looking at in Special Release Booster 2.0. Just for funzy ranking, Lord Knightmon number 1, Velgramon Loop number 2, Duskmon number 3, and then everything else number 4. So that's what we're looking forward to. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to in the Special Release Booster in the comments down below. What decks are you going to be building as soon as it drops? What's your number 1 deck in the set? And let me know if you know anything about these decks that I don't know anything about in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong and Big Z11 who make videos like this possible.